We're training for Anthony Joshua. I brought in some elite sparring partners.
Oh my God! He's a gorilla!
Conor McGregor didn't frame Jake Paul's next fight versus Anthony Joshua as bold or inspiring. He framed it as dangerous and possibly pushed into existence by people who weren't the ones stepping into the ring.
He's gonna get knocked out by AJ though, isn't he?
If he makes that walk.
After watching Anthony Joshua up close from ringside and soaking in the atmosphere around a genuine heavyweight puncher, McGregor came away uneasy. He acknowledged the courage it would take for Paul to step into that ring, but made it clear that courage does not cancel out danger. To him, Joshua represents the kind of raw power and physical presence that no amount of hype can soften, and the involvement of a global platform only sharpens the sense of risk.
It's a dangerous sport, and you can't overlook that. Joshua's a big boy and a powerhouse. I've sat ringside and watched Joshua. That's a heavy punching man, and he's a happy and he's a good kid. He has an anger in him. He has a darkness in him, does Anthony Joshua. I don't think a lot of people suss that. So, the fight shouldn't go ahead. In my opinion, the fight shouldn't go ahead. If he does it, I'll give him his respect for that.
That concern quickly echoed across the combat sports world, with Alexander Usyk reacting in a way that blended blunt honesty with genuine worry. Having shared the ring with Joshua twice, Usyk understands the physical cost of facing him better than almost anyone alive. While he respects Paul's athleticism and effort, Usyk views the matchup as fundamentally unbalanced. One man is a lifelong boxer shaped by Olympic success and elite professional wars, while the other came to the sport through entertainment and self-promotion. For Usyk, that difference is not symbolic, it is tangible and dangerous. He doesn't frame the fight as an upset waiting to happen, but as a survival test, one where Paul's biggest achievement might simply be getting out without lasting harm. His mindset reflects a belief that heavyweight power does not forgive inexperience, no matter how confident or prepared a newcomer feels.
Some people complaining about AJ taking that fight. Obviously, it's a lot of money, right?
Yeah.
Do you see something wrong with AJ taking that fight?
This is just a lot of money. It's just a show.
Right.
This is not interesting sport because, guys, brothers, Anthony, it's Olympic champion.
Right.
Jake, it's just sportsman. Yeah, YouTuber. Jake do a lot of work. Special coach, special food, a lot of exercise, new.
Yes.
But this is guy don't have a mother fights.
Right.
Never
Right.
a mother fights. Maybe them wrestling now professional, but Joshua, Anthony Joshua, it's Olympic champion.
So how long does that fight last?
Listen, my opinion, it's one round because Anthony twice. My fight twice. Jab.
Very hard.
Yeah, look. You know, this is.
And still from his
This
fight.
is jab.
Yeah.
Boom.
Even with Paul's relentless belief in himself and his talk of shocking the world, the consensus among seasoned fighters remains harsh. Joshua's resume looms large, built on years of high-level competition and refined under the brightest lights. Paul has improved steadily and shown discipline in his training, but improvement within a controlled environment is different from handling a former champion who can end a fight with one clean moment. The odds surrounding the bout reflect that reality, heavily leaning toward Joshua. Paul frames the fight as a gateway to his long-term dream of becoming a true world champion, but many observers struggle to see how this step doesn't come too soon.
What do you think about Jake Paul, Anthony Joshua?
It's one of the craziest propositions of all time. You take a guy who just had a boxing match that looks like a sparring match with a 58-year-old Mike Tyson, and then you're gonna fight one of the absolute scariest knockout artists. The fact that Jake Paul wants to fight that guy, I'll watch.
Roy Jones Jr. addressed the matchup with far less humor. From his vantage point as a former champion and analyst, the fight hinges on one simple variable: seriousness. He believes that if Joshua treats Paul as a legitimate opponent rather than an event, the fight will be short and violent. Jones doesn't see technical puzzles or intriguing adjustments. He sees a vast difference in seasoning. In his eyes, Paul has never felt the presence of someone molded by Olympic pressure and hardened by championship rounds. Joshua, when focused, operates on an entirely different plane. Jones views the bout as less of a contest contest and more of a lesson waiting to be delivered once Joshua decides to impose himself fully.
Big news also this past week, AJ versus Jake. I mean, everyone's been calling for Jake to fight a real fighter. What do you think?
And Jake gonna fight a real fighter, and if the real fighter fights like a real fighter, then Jake gonna take a real nap. Cause AJ, he showed you with Ngannou. He ain't one of these guys that just can go pick out streets and say, "Oh, I'm gonna fight AJ." No. AJ is an Olympian. AJ is a former world champion. AJ is not two-time world champion. AJ is nothing to play with. So when you go in with AJ, have your mind right, cause if you can't take it, he gonna find out.
Were you surprised when you heard about that?
No, I was not.
So you think he's going to knock him out, though, AJ?
He's going to definitely knock him out. Because, I mean, don't get it wrong. Jake's smart, and Jake does have the power. If he can catch him first, he knows if he can catch AJ first, he can get AJ out. But he don't catch AJ first. Just like Ngannou couldn't catch him first. AJ been boxing a long time. AJ better than they give him credit for.
John Fury came at it from a slightly different angle, but his conclusion landed in the same place. His focus rested on Joshua's responsibility rather than Paul's ambition. Fury feels that the only acceptable version of this fight is one where Joshua moves forward immediately and makes his intentions clear. Anything slower or more cautious would invite suspicion about the event's authenticity. From his perspective, given Joshua's physical tools and experience, prolonging the fight would feel unnatural. Fury reads the matchup primarily as entertainment and expects it to end quickly if Joshua behaves like himself, without overthinking or staging theatrics.
You know, I wish Anthony all the best of luck. But Anthony, listen to me. Don't take a dive with this Jake Paul, mate. Do not do that, not for $1 billion, my pal. Don't do it. Don't do as the others have done. Do not take dives. If he fights you, knock him dead as a nit, and good luck with it.
Tyson says he's going to bet £1 million on Jake Paul knocking out Joshua.
This is what I'm saying. How's that work?
He can't, can he?
Anthony Joshua could knock Jake Paul out with his dick. So if it goes any other way, you know.
You give me a headline there, by the way.
If it goes any other way, you know it's fucking fixed, don't you? Enough said. Enough said.
Andy Ruiz Jr. offered a more nuanced and practical assessment rooted in personal history. Having shocked the world by stopping Joshua in 2019, Ruiz understands both Joshua's strengths and the rare windows where vulnerability can appear. He doesn't imagine Paul outboxing or overpowering Joshua over time. Instead, Ruiz sees only a slim puncher's chance, something sudden and unexpected thrown early before Joshua settles into rhythm. That single idea acknowledges Paul's dedication while still recognizing how unlikely an upset truly is. Ruiz's insight doesn't romanticize the fight. It strips it down to a narrow possibility that depends on timing, surprise, and luck more than sustained skill.
Listen, Jake Paul had his face-off today with Anthony Joshua.
Oh, yeah.
He called himself Andy Ruiz 2.0.
Oh,
So
nice.
I gotta ask, what advice would you give to him, like technically?
I think just having faith, man. Having faith, don't be scared, and do what you gotta do, you know? Ask God for that victory and he will come through, and just be fearless, you know? That's what you gotta do. You gotta be fearless and give it all you got, you know?
Any secret to, like, you know, boxing a guy like
Just get him with the
Joshua?
right hand. That's what Jake Paul's looking for, the right hand. And if he lands, he could do good damage. So a lot of people underestimate Jake Paul, but in reality, he's a good fighter and he's dedicated, and that's what I like about him.
You get on the phone with Jake before the fight?
I haven't, but I'm gonna hit him up and try to give him some little pointers, huh?
That's what's up.
Derek Chisora removed even that sliver of optimism. From years spent trading punches with heavyweight contenders, Chisora speaks from a place of physical memory. To him, size alone changes everything. The kind of force a real heavyweight generates cannot be fully simulated in training. Clever strategies and calculated plans dissolve the moment a clean punch lands. Chisora doesn't see preparation as the issue, he sees inevitability. Once Joshua connects properly, the gap becomes undeniable, and no amount of planning can erase that reality.
Anthony Joshua versus Jake Paul, do you think that's going to happen? And if it does, what happens?
Listen, as I keep saying to everybody, man, in the Middle East there's a war happening,
Yeah.
In Europe there's a war happening. In Africa people are dying.
Yeah.
So we need a bit of entertainment, and right now, this is a great fight for entertainment for us right now.
A one-round entertainment. Surely that doesn't go past one round.
We never know. You never know. But you know what? As I said yesterday, Jake Paul be so confident to get into this fight, because after you watch Daniel Dubois fight, you think you can do exactly what Daniel did.
Yeah.
So, listen, I'm up for this fight to happen, and I want to see AJ just put the lights out this young man.
100%. Come on, AJ.
Dana White approached the bout without weighing jabs or footwork. Instead, he focused on the psychology of the audience. For him, boxing technique is secondary to curiosity. People are watching because Paul is finally testing himself against someone still young, active, and legitimately dangerous. Joshua represents the measuring stick fans have been waiting for. White believes that the intrigue doesn't come from expecting brilliance, but from the simple question of what happens when hype collides with genuine threat. That curiosity alone justifies the event's existence in his eyes.
See the fight that's reportedly being worked on for December 19th in Miami.
Did I see the fight being worked on December 19th in Miami?
Yeah.
No.
Do you know which fight I'm talking about?
No.
Fair enough.
Oh, Jesus. That's a bad idea. That's a bad idea. But let me tell you what. A lot of people watch that one.
Will you watch it?
Sure. You know what everybody's tuning in for on that one. I think everybody's going to get what they've finally been waiting for.
Dana over here.
Teddy Atlas brought a more analytical and cautious tone. While he agrees that Joshua remains the favorite, he stopped short of dismissing Paul entirely. Atlas pointed to the uncertainty surrounding Joshua's current state, especially following his loss to Dubois and periods of inactivity. He suggested that no one truly knows which version of Joshua will appear. Paul's advantages in youth, activity, and movement, noting that discipline and patience could allow him to survive stretches longer than expected. Atlas didn't predict an upset, but he refused to treat the outcome as a foregone conclusion within the opening moments.
Former heavyweight champ is supposed to go and win by knockout. I understand all that, what people are thinking. But I tell you one thing. With all that, Joshua has been inactive. Joshua was destroyed in his last fight. I know it was against a fighter, a top fighter, not against a guy that's been fighting a couple years and has had very little background. I understand all. Teddy understands that. I just break it down, all of it. And with having said that, Joshua has been inactive. We don't know where he is mentally. We don't know where he is physically. He's been gone for over a year. We don't know. We know he's coming off a bad loss. We understand that in his last fight. And so we don't know where he's at. But we know Paul's young. We know that he's got legs. He's got a jab. Who says he can't get in there for 8 rounds and motorcycle around? And you know, what is winning for him at this point? Going and knocking out Joshua, which would be unbelievable and unlikely, or doing something no one expects, taking on this challenge. He's already got everyone's attention, taking on this challenge, and then going in there and going the distance. Maybe, you know, in a way that no one thought he could.
Sean O'Malley's reaction was shaped by empathy and concern rather than analysis. Being close to Paul and deeply aware of the damage combat sports can leave behind, O'Malley worries about the long-term impact of a brutal knockout. He's seen how one night can alter a fighter permanently. To him, success in this scenario isn't measured by rounds won, but by escaping without serious harm. The idea that survival itself might be the real victory speaks volumes about how dangerous the matchup appears from the inside.
I'm done. AJ versus Jake Paul. Do you see the size difference between Anthony? Do you see how fucking
He's
huge
a monster,
that guy
bro.
is?
Yeah.
6'6", 265.
That's huge, dude.
They said they're making him come down to 240 or 245.
That gives me so much respect for Paul though, because I was always just like, he's up fighting like all these old people, or Tyson. I mean, Tyson's still beast, but this dude's fucking
Tyson old hell.
I know, but still, but this guy, fuck.
He's not had a single matchup even close to this.
Yeah, this is. I mean, this fight as a friend of Jake is like, I'm scared.
Yeah.
Like, dude, these are like getting knocked out by someone like that changes lives. It doesn't change just your career path. It doesn't go, maybe I don't box. It can change lives. It can change the way you think. Getting knocked out, bad concussions are scary. Your brain, you have one fucking brain. And if he's willing to go out there and fight, and like that is absolutely fucking insane. Like it scares me.
How did that even come to be the thing? Was that even in the works at all, or did it just like boom?
I know.
Dave Allen expressed respect for Paul's work ethic and progress, offering credit without illusion. He could envision Paul eventually capturing a small regional title somewhere down the line, but this fight, in his view, exists far outside that trajectory. Allen doesn't believe Paul is physically built for genuine heavyweight clashes. Joshua, to him, represents everything Paul isn't prepared for: size, power, and elite experience condensed into a single opponent. Allen worries that the risks involved aren't being emphasized enough, and fears that one heavy connection could end the night instantly.
I reckon this kid, Jake Paul, could win an area title, definitely. I really think he could. He trains hard. I respect all of that. I respect him for what he's doing. Brilliant, he's having a go, amazing. But he's now fighting arguably a top heavyweight of the last 10-15 years. One, it's dangerous. We're talking like it's a real fight. The whole thing I've been doing right now is based on it's a real fight. They're both going to try and flatten each other. It's dangerous. He's not a heavyweight, he's a cruiserweight, if that. Turned pro at 13-2. And he wasn't a kid, he was 23 years of age. He wasn't a kid, he's not grown into heavyweight. He boxed Julio Cesar 5 months ago at 14-3. Might cut a bit of weight, might come down from 15 stone, but it's dangerous, really. It's dangerous, very dangerous, because if Anthony Joshua hits him on the chin, he will put him to sleep. He will hurt him, and he could really hurt him, because Mike Tyson in his late 50s, all his MMA fighters, Chavez shot to bits. When Anthony Joshua hits him, he'll have the shock of his fucking life. He's not naturally big enough, for one. 2, he isn't good enough.
Tony Bellew echoed those thoughts with little patience for hypothetical scenarios. He struggled to imagine any version of the fight where things remain competitive. Bellew pointed bluntly to the differences in strength, mass, and fighting history. In a properly sanctioned professional setting, he expects Joshua to dictate every second. The idea of equal exchanges felt absurd to him, more like entertainment fantasy than sport.
What happens when, I think we both know, but for the sake of saying it specifically, if the two of them do collide in the ring.
Josh and Jake.
Yeah.
I don't believe it. I don't believe a single thing until I see him in the ring. I don't believe any. Even if they come together for a press, I don't believe it. I don't genuinely believe he will climb into a boxing ring with 10-ounce gloves on with Anthony Joshua. It won't happen. It can't.
Hypothetically, if it does, how long does it last?
As long as Josh wants it to. Simple as that. As long as he wants it to. The same way it did with Floyd Mayweather and Conor McGregor. The same way it did with Anthony Joshua and Francis Ngannou.
Taken together, these voices form a near unified warning. From champions and contenders to promoters and analysts, the message is consistent. This is not a novelty bout hiding behind pageantry. It is a heavyweight fight carrying real consequences. The intrigue may draw eyes, the money may justify the risk, and the confidence may fuel bold declarations, but none of that changes what happens when the bell rings. December 19 looms not as a playful experiment, but as a defining moment where ambition, spectacle, and reality collide in the most unforgiving division in boxing.